With regard to management style, you had mentioned the work group approach that you take. With regard to managing, you had mentioned, I think, 340 employees.
Yes.
How would you describe your own management style as it comes to leading that, and what kind of innovations in management might you an example for in these last couple of years, all the county agendas and videos have been up for the county commission meetings. Are there any other ideas that you have in terms of opening up transparency as well?
Well, that seemed like a two-sided question. One was relating to my management style, and then you moved on to the county commissioner meeting.
Why don't we start with the management style then?
Okay, so I wouldn't change my management style, and obviously I'm managing the 340 people today. And my management style really relates to, revolves around trust. And so I work with an employee if it's someone new that's come on board. You work with someone, and you soon find out based on their work performance and their work style and what they're responsible for and how well they accomplish their goals, whether or not you can trust that employee. And when I trust my management team and I trust the employees, we set goals and we set vision and goals and objectives, and everyone is working towards those visions and towards those objectives, and we communicate that very consistently, and everyone works on that. And I don't micromanage people. I trust them to move forward in the right direction. They come to me, they trust me that they can come to me when they have questions or issues or roadblocks, and we work it out together. And if it involves other agencies, we bring the agencies in. If they need my help with agencies, I go and talk to folks and get things worked out. So that's really my management style. It revolves around trust and getting things done and accomplishing specific objectives. And if we start down one path and it doesn't seem to be working well, we change course. We don't stay the course just because it's the course. We are flexible, and we keep things moving in the right direction for the right reasons. And that's who I am as a manager. And what was the second part of your question?
Sure. The second part kind of built on what Ms. Grothaus had talked about, which is changes that you may make in the future, at least additions with technology. What kind of ideas do you have in terms of further developing the technology that you have? And one example that I cited was, as a journalist, it now is much easier to see the transcripts of meetings, the videos, agendas, all those other things.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have digitized all of our records. So all of our court records are electronic, all of our financial records are electronic. As a matter of fact, our finance office is entirely paperless. Everything that comes in is in paper form is scanned. And then we have workflow processes that push work out to people. We have clerks that work from home because we have such a paperless environment, and they're allowed to they can do data entry with the online records. So everything we do, we've tried to go into a paperless environment simply because it makes sense. I mean, you can't keep up with the amount of paper that comes into an office, and I don't care what kind of an office it is, but especially when you're the clerk's office and dealing with documents is your job. So to continue down that path, we have a lot of different areas that are on my list of things I would love to see happen, and that we will make happen. And one of them is electronic filing. We are doing electronic filing with court records. It's limited right now. We're waiting on state technology to advance. But it's moving, and we're getting there. And so that will be a big plus, a big push for us. We still maintain probably about 50% of our court case files. We still maintain paper. And that is because on the back end of that process in the courtroom, we still use paper in the courtroom for the judges. That's something we are actively working on today to improve. We already have some judges using electronic files in the courtroom, and that project alone saved us over $600,000 in the criminal justice system. We're working on the rest of the court types, civil and felony courts and that type of thing. So that's a big area that we're moving towards. I can't think of any more at the moment, but we're.
Can I follow?
Yes.
So and I applaud you for going paperless. Yes. I wish more people would do that. But do you have a server farm somewhere, and you have redundancy with all those files?
We do.
Okay.
We actually have redundant.
Okay.
So we actually have a redundant site locally and then an off-site, a slower access redundant site that's in Gainesville.
Okay. And what is that, I mean, how much time does that save y'all? It just seems like it's, I know I've been involved with several projects where the paperless goes through and the ability for people to function is just tremendous.
It is tremendous. Well, just as one example, putting the criminal court documents, the courtroom, having the judges use the electronic court files in court, that process alone, we used to take 2 weeks to go through, find paper, get it in case files, make sure it was ready for court. 2 weeks of manual labor touching paper. That has been replaced by maybe 2 hours.
That's awesome.
So, and we had and when we implemented that, we were buried in paper. Our county court criminal was just, the caseload was just tremendous. It had increased 30% in 1 year, and it was just out the window. That's just one example. And we've done that, like I said, our finance office is all paperless, so we've saved countless man hours there. We didn't actually count those man hours, but we actually counted the man hours for county court criminal because we spent money on all our technology projects, but we wanted to see how much when was our payback, what was our return on investment, how long did that take, and it was 1.5 years. We had all the money that we put into that project back in 1.5 years, and we still save now every year $600,000 because of that.
Pretty good ROI.
So it's a great ROI, and so you can apply that to a lot of different areas. Not all of them are that big. We do a lot of automation in smaller areas, but that was a big area for us, so we did a nice ROI on it because we wanted to know. And we do ROIs on many of our projects because when we look at technology, it costs money.
Sure.
And so, and it often costs money ongoing. So you need to make sure it's worth it, and it usually is.
I have a final question.
Yes.
Some people have asked me, they wanted me to ask this question, which is, some people feel that you were groomed for this job. Some years ago, it was decided that Linda was going to be the person to replace Charlie. There's been a grooming process, if you will, since that time. Is that accurate?
We have a culture in our office to groom our replacements. We think that's a very responsible thing to do. And personally, I never imagined that I would run for clerk. I don't know if Charlie's been planning this for years or not. But we do, we groom people for every position. If you have a highly skilled manager, walk out the door tomorrow, you need to have someone ready to step in and have that experience and that skill and the leadership to take that person's place. I've been promoted up within the ranks because of my abilities, not because Charlie's grooming me for the position. But I truly am qualified, and I have the experience and I have the education, and I truly do have what it takes to be the clerk of the courts. I know Charlie has probably been, I think Charlie looked at all of his managers, and he has really groomed everyone to step in when he is not here. I just happened to be the one who was, I guess, brave enough to run.
Okay, we have about 2 minutes left of the interview. And any other final questions? Any final comments?
Just that, I have the experience and the leadership skills, the proven leadership skills, really. I've worked with all of the agencies, and I have, I've been leading these 340 employees in the management team, going in the right direction for the right reasons. And, I can provide, really, this county the level of trust and service and low cost that you've come to expect from your clerk. And I am qualified to serve.
Thank you very much, Ms. Doggett. We appreciate it.